The Migration Media Award exists as an attempt to help shape a new perception, a new narrative on migration. But it faces many obstacles, according to you, and which one would be the biggest one that journalists and media outlets have to face while dealing with migration?
I think there are a number of issues. I mean, of course, there is the general context of crisis in legacy media. The economic crisis, has decreased the resources that would allow journalists to do their work on a longer term basis and be able to investigate, be able to interpret and contextualize. But that's an issue. But at the same time, you have the competition with the social networks, which quite often pollute the flows of information. It's very hard for journalists to question that. But I think on the whole, there is still, in many European countries, a number of media and journalists who are dedicated to quality journalism. And at the end of the day, this is what will remain. And as we see the history of journalism, you can see that people that we remember today as the references in journalism are the ones, they covered migration quite often, like Albert Londres, who gave his name to the most prestigious prize in French journalism. He covered migration, Jews in Central Europe. The trafficking, human trafficking to Argentina at the time. But others, just this year, the Pulitzer Prize, one of the best products of the laureates of the Pulitzer Prize was about migration. It was about the wall, famous wall that Mr. Trump likes so much. And they have really made a superb work of explaining what it meant and what were the consequences for both the US and the Mexican population. And I think these are examples that we can refer to as inspiration. And I do believe that prizes like the one of the Migration Media Award are particularly helpful to inspire younger journalists to believe that journalism matters, good journalism matters.
What took you to ICMPD, to bring ICMPD within the Migration Media Award? What's the aim that ICMPD is looking for?
Well, basically, when you want to focus on developing migration policies, what you require is to make sure that your work is being used for something. We are all sick and tired of reports ending up on shelves collecting dust. I think this is not what we work for. So when we realized that basically whatever work we were doing was having a rather little impact on the work of policymakers because they could not make use of it. And we start asking ourselves, why can they not make use of it? And what we realize is that the narrative has become so toxic, so polarized, that it's becoming very difficult to find common ground for policymakers to work for the good of everyone. And our role as ICMPD for policy development purposes was to basically address this obstacle to doing our own job. It's a bit selfish, if you wish.
The narrative on migration should be balanced, at least. We have witnessed in the past few years a dramatic turn in the negative sense of the word in the narrative about migration. We would like to stress that our aim is to also present the benefits of migration for our societies, the benefits of migration overall, and not only the negative parts. And in this respect, the role of the media is absolutely crucial, because even if social media have become very important today, as we all know, I believe people continue to watch television, continue to read, to hear the news on the radio, and to read their newspapers. And they are very distressed by what happened over the past few years with the refugee crisis, with all the problems linked to it. And they are looking for explanation, they are looking for something balanced based on facts and figures.